We have looked at quadratic functions, so I'm not going to do everything this notes page says, but the main thing is you have this function right here in what is called vertex form. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, but this is called vertex form. So I want to rewrite this in what's called standard form. So I could do the math on this. I know how to do the math. So I know that anything squared means multiply that thing by itself. So let's write it out twice, because that's what it means. Multiply this by itself. Write it out twice. Now, the way that we multiply this twice is we multiply it by itself. We can double distribute. We can do a box. There's ways that we've done this. It's a mess there, sorry. Some of you like to do it in the box, but when we multiply these, we get x squared. We get a negative 3x, a negative 3x, and then a positive 9. When we combine the like terms, remember these two are like, we get a negative 6x. Now the next thing we know to do after we've done, remember PEMDAS means something in parentheses first, which we can't do, then the exponent second, so we did the exponent. Now we do the multiply, and so here's our multiply. Multiply, distribute the 2 through the parentheses. We get 2x squared minus 12x, or plus a negative, means the same thing, plus 18. Now I have this plus 4 on the end. The last part of PEMDAS is to add and subtract, so I combine these. 2x squared minus 12x plus 22. These two are the same. If you put them in the calculator, you would see the same graph, the same table of values. It's two different ways to write it. They're both quadratic. They're both examples of quadratic functions. But they're in two different forms. Standard form has ax squared plus bx plus c. So isn't that what this is? There's a number and an x squared, a number and an x, and then a constant. That's standard form. Vertex form is going to be y equals little a x minus h squared plus k. Now this is the transformation of the parent function. It helps us to sketch the graphs. It helps us determine a lot of things. If it's in this form, we usually like for it to be in this form, but sometimes we need it in that form. So we have two different forms, standard, vertex. We can go from one to the other. So let's do a couple of practice ones. First of all, if I wanted to do this one, the very first thing I do is my exponent, so I write this twice. You know what? I'm not going to do this one because it's exactly like, almost exactly like the one above. So instead, let's do number 2. So this tends to trick people, but let's deal with the negative last. Let's don't deal with it yet. First thing I need to do is deal with that squared, so let's write this out twice. Now, for those of you that like to do it in the box, let me just demonstrate the box. So I would go x squared, 1x, 1x. I wrote the wrong thing here. And then a 1. Then remember how we combined the two like terms. So this negative needs to stay out front. And when I multiply the two things, I get x squared plus 2x plus 1, and now I bring down the plus 7. So the only thing I did was I wrote this out twice, then I multiplied the two binomials, which we've been doing for a while. This is not new. And then the next thing I should be able to do, let me find a different color, is to distribute the negative. Now there's an imaginary 1. This is like multiplying everything by negative 1. But when we do that, all we really do is flip the signs, bring down your positive 7. These are like terms. There's your standard form. So really all we're doing today is math, algebra. That's all we're doing, algebra. Do the math to get it to a different form. So this one here, I would do, I'd leave the 1/2. We deal with it later. Write this out twice. I don't care if you multiply it, if you use your eyebrows and smiles, if you use your box. I don't care how you do it, but somehow we need to do our multiplication, but not with the 1/2. The 1/2 waits till later. So we're going to get x squared minus 8x, sorry my pen is not writing, and then plus 16. I'll go to a pen that works. So x squared minus 8x plus 16. Then you distribute the 1/2. 1/2 x squared minus 4x plus 8. It's just math. Then let's do one more together. 3. Write this out twice because I always do the exponent first. Then I do the math on it. So I'm not dealing with my 3 yet. I'm not dealing with my minus 10 yet. X squared plus 4x plus 4. And now I deal with the 3. Distribute. 3x squared plus 12x plus 12. Bring down your minus 10. Now combine those. 3x squared plus 12x plus 2. So it's just math, just a few steps, not difficult, just maybe takes a few minutes with a bunch of steps.